sees himself as a victim gets angry. Now, I wouldn't deny for it.
Exactly. Like every PragerU video. You're this close. It's like you're this close to actually getting it, and then you just sideline. This one's brand new. It's short, it's only 5 minutes, but I think I happen to have the stats and figures necessary to debunk it in real time before you all, and we're going to learn a thing or two, especially with Corn Pop Joe having just taught us about white privilege. We learned that, in fact, Joe Biden was in fact actually black in his past. He might even be Obama in whiteface. We're not entirely sure. We'll have to figure that out. In the meantime, let's learn a little bit about what it is, what white privilege is, how to end it.
Woke white people, I'd like to ask you a favor. Please stop asking for forgiveness for your white privilege. You're not fooling anybody. You're not helping black people or any other minority. And your public confessions don't make you look virtuous. They make you look disingenuous, which is a really nice way of saying fake, phony, and fraudulent. For starters, what is white privilege anyway? Because you're born with white skin, you have all these advantages that I don't have? Like what? Like you can get a mortgage loan that I can't get? I got a loan. At a great rate, by the way. And I got the house.
Wow. So we got science right here, right? Statistics, analysis, not just a single story to kind of debunk this. It's not like there's any kind of widespread statistics on these things at the same time, too. There's no real way of verifying. Oh, what we got here? Forbes, the left-wing pinko commie publication that is Forbes magazine. Black homebuyers denied mortgages more than twice as often as whites, reports finds. Black and Hispanic homebuyers are significantly more likely to get turned down for a conventional mortgage loan, according to new data. A recent analysis from Zillow shows that in 2016, nearly 21% of black applicants were denied a conventional loan, while 15.5% of Hispanics were. Those rates are down from 2007, when black applicants were turned down 34.3% of the time, and Hispanics faced denials on 30% of applications. 34.3%. So you had a 1 in 3 chance of getting denied, basically. The national denial rate is down, dropping from 18% to 9.8%. But even with those reduction rates in the past decade, a major gap exists between loan denials for white and Asian applicants and those of black and Hispanic applicants. In 2016, Asian applicants were denied a conventional loan in the 10.4% of cases. Whites, 8.1%. So yeah, that's what I would probably call privilege.
Why would a banker not give a loan to someone who met the loan requirements? He doesn't want to make money? I've never heard of such a banker. Or how about this? You can enter a store and not be looked upon with suspicion, but I, a black person, cannot? Except that has never happened to me. But if I was a young dude with my pants hanging down to my butt, I could understand why the store owner would be concerned. I used to be a cop. Believe me, I understand. If I owned a store, I'd be tracking that kid too, whether he was black, white, or anything else.
See, the problem isn't systematic racism. It's pants. The problem's always been pants, right? Like, we know this now. We figured it out. There's no such thing as racism. There's pantsism. It's all pants. It's always been pants. We've known this from the very get-go. And, of course, it's not like there's, statistical analysis on any of this. But there is a phenomenon, and I'm going to use Wikipedia Andy for this, shopping while black. A phrase commonly used for the type of marketplace discrimination that is also known as consumer racial profiling. Consumer racism, racial profiling in a retail setting. And while this individual hasn't experienced it, some notable celebrities are... oh no, R. Kelly. I'm already debunking myself in real time. Oprah Winfrey. She told Good Housekeeping magazine how she and other black companions were turned away from a store while white people were being allowed in, allegedly when she and her friend recommended the clerks black transsexuals who had entered early and tried to rob it. What? Oprah, what has happened? And in 2005, Winfrey also refused service at a Parisian luxury store, Hermes, as the store was closing for the evening, in what a spokesperson described as Oprah's crash moment, a reference to the 2004 movie about racial and social tensions in Los Angeles. And outside of this, there's obviously statistical analysis that, yes, they are profiled. There's a huge problem of profiling.
If two people are equally qualified for a job, the black person will usually get it. Big companies and prestigious universities fall all over one another trying to sign up talented black people.
Study. Anti-black hiring discrimination is as prevalent today as it was in 1989. Racism is alive and well in America. Wow. Americans are as racist as they were back in the 1980s. At least one crucial area, jobs. A new study by researchers at Northwestern University, Harvard, and the Institute for Social Research in Norway looked at the available field experiment on hiring discrimination from 1989 through 2015. The researchers found that anti-black racism in hiring is unchanged since at least 1989, while anti-Latino racism may have decreased modestly. They looked at two kinds of experiments: resume and in-person audits. In the first, researchers sent out resumes with similar levels of education, experience, and so on, but the names differ. So some resumes have a stereotypically black or Latino name, and the others have a stereotypically white name. In the second, applicants go in person to apply for the job. They each share similar qualifications, but some are white while others are black or brown. In total, researchers produced 24 studies with 30 estimates of discrimination for black and Latino Americans, collectively representing more than 54,000 applications submitted for more than 25,000 positions. They concluded that on average, white applicants received 36 more callbacks than equally qualified African Americans, while white applicants on average received 24% more qualified than Latinos.
She listed 46, including this one. I can choose bandages and flesh color and have them more or less match my skin. Wow, that's some kind of privilege. Soon others took up the cause. Today, these so-called progressives...
So you see what he did there? He gave you a list of all of them. Doesn't tell you what any of them are, and then he picked the one that he thought you would find the most ridiculous, right? Which happened to be the last one on the list, which happened to be about Band-Aids.
White students get the better of the deal. Let me explain. To acknowledge your white privilege is supposed to make you feel bad. Only it doesn't. It makes you feel good because by acknowledging your white privilege, you're declaring yourself to be enlightened. And as a virtue bonus, it also makes you a better person than those whites who don't acknowledge their privilege. White privilege, which is supposed to make you feel bad, ends up making you feel good. Meanwhile, the real damage is to blacks. What makes whites feel good makes blacks angry. More than 50 years after the civil rights movement, the message is, you're still oppressed. How can this not create a victim mentality? And anyone of any color who sees himself as a victim gets angry. Now, I wouldn't deny for it.
Exactly. Like every PragerU video. You're this close. It's like you're this close to actually getting it, and then you just sideline, and then you just go right off the cliff, making no sense whatsoever.
Second, that there are privileges in life. They're all over the place. There's two-parent family privilege. That's huge. There's being lucky to be born in America privilege. There's good gene privilege. But white privilege, doesn't it depend on the person? Let's take this for example. A black lawyer and his wife have a baby, and
There it is, right? Doesn't it depend on the person? Doesn't it come down to that? Don't you all have agency, every single one of you? I mean, it's not as if you have any kind of societal pressures, external pressures bearing down on you. It's your fault. You're the problem. Absolutely, you're the problem.
A meth addict, single white woman has a baby. Which kid has privilege? The white one? Because he's white? Come on now. And here's the kicker.
I hope everyone took time to think about that thought experiment, you know? I think that's kind of an evolution of Plato's prisoner dilemma. The crack baby from the white family versus the black lawyer family. And obviously, the privilege goes in one direction there.
Even if it were true, all those claims about white privilege, so what? Would it change a single thing I did? If white people apologize for being white, is that supposed to help me? In what way? So let's be real. White privilege is an attempt by the left to divide Americans by race. It's all theory and all nonsense.
Just don't think about it. Don't ever think about it. Stop thinking about it, all right? We'll just stop talking about race. Do you remember what the old slogan used to be? I don't see race. I don't see color. I don't. I'm colorblind. Maybe it should just be like, I don't see anything. Like, there's nothing before me. I don't even see. I do not, get refracted light bouncing off objects into my corneas that then get processed by my mind. None of that takes place. Let's just take this to its logical conclusion.
Did you enjoy what you just watched and now crave more nectar of the damned? Did you know that if you're watching on YouTube, you're only getting half the surfy experience? We upload all of our content commercial and censorship free to our Patreon. Due to the general demonetization of our videos, we now upload half of our original content directly to those who can help us produce this show. Want even more nectar than that? Well, come join us at twitch.tv/TheSerfsTV, where we do weekly live streams, debates, interviews, AMAs, and more. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can help support our show 100% free by subscribing to our Twitch channel. So come join us, be merry, and know that your support is helping us do great things. Like pay rent and eat. We would first and foremost like to thank our god, Nicholas Marks. We worship at your temple. We would like to thank our monarch, Elsie Hupp. Your generosity has made this entire thing possible. We would like to thank our lords, Ricky Pilgrim, I'm Raft, and Michaela Schmidt. You are the pillars of our organization. To our Knights of the Surf Table, Paul Parfit, Daniel Kahn, Fair Tahan, Clement Chutzkoff, Schizosaurus, Josh Mickelson, Dr. Zayas, Cooper Pilot, Andre Lynn Epperly, Dylan Bith, Terry, Todd Buckingham, Jed Lewis, Todd Lajeunesse.